if anybody's watching out there, this is a public meeting for our water use efficiency, and we'll be dealing with our plans for being the most efficient methods of using our water, conservation issues, and so forth. So they are found on the website. And so if you're interested in looking at that, you may go on the web and you can see the documents regarding that. Ryan, do you have anything else you want to say?
I can summarize the proposed water use efficiency goals that are up for consideration. Those include having the city's water system maintain the distribution system leakage to 5% or less on a 3-year rolling average basis. That is approximately consistent with the city's historical distribution system leakage. And then the other goal is to reduce the average daily demand on a per capita basis by 3% over the next 20 years. That goal is a carryover from the city's previous goal, which they achieved and then some. So bringing that forward to continue to strive to use water as efficiently as possible. So those are the two goals that are up for consideration, and pending public comment may be considered by council for adoption.
So unless we have any comments from, and we have received no email comments regarding our proposal, no phone calls, no voice messages. So unless somebody wants to happens to join into this meeting, we have no public comment at this time. This meeting will last for an hour. So that's where we are. Ryan, should we not talk about a couple of other things, or should we?
Yeah, I suppose we better
just hold it to this.
Just be at the ready in case any members of the public join us, and we can field any questions and discuss the water use efficiency plan if they join in.
Okay. Ryan, we're using a lot of water right now, let me tell you.
I can imagine. I think everyone in central and eastern, the whole state, the whole Northwest is using a lot of water right now. How do you know what how much did you supply yesterday?
I don't know. I haven't checked, but I've talked with the people, with the crew, and I said we got to do whatever we can to keep these well sites cool. Yep. So we went over to we're putting District 14 on the lead, And we went over there today, and inside the building was 95 degrees. The air AC BARD unit was down. And so we finally got that running, but I'm just trying to keep the control systems cool. It's wearing right now, but
Yeah, everything is stressed.
yeah.
From these type of temperatures, boy, and it's not just a 1 day type thing. I mean, it's going to be a week of this, which is just no relief.
Yeah, I see Saturday it might drop down to 93, which will feel like a cool wave.
Yeah. No, it's a different type of heat when it's that hot or this hot, I should say, by 9 a.m., 10 a.m., noon. It's one thing if it kisses up to 100, 102 or whatever at 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and then starts to cool down.
Yeah.
But when it sits at 100 plus for, I mean, shoot, 8 hours, 10 hours or more. I mean, that for a week straight, give or take, that is.
Yeah, and you get up in the morning, leave your house at 6, and you're sweating.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
Yeah, no, exactly. I did a little bit of work outside yesterday, and like in the evening, 7 o'clock even, and it was, boy, that was just made quick work of it and stopped early.
Yeah, Saturday I was out at 7 in the morning to mow.
Yeah.
I was still.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's something else, and very scary seeing how early in summer it is. I know it's going to dip back down over the next, or as you said, starting next weekend. But if we have another 1 or 2 type week-long peaks like this in July or August or both, man, the ability to keep AC running at the critical facilities, keeping pumps on, motors. I mean, it's just extra stress on everything.
Yeah, it's going to be. You just hope this is your hot deal for the summer, and the rest of the summer is going to be in the 90s or 80s. And
yeah,
the other thing I haven't noticed in many years is our typical thunderstorm, thunder and lightning in the summer. So.
Yeah. Well, they were saying, I saw that there's supposed to be a cold, like marine front or something that comes in off the coast tonight. I don't know if it'll make it to us either over the next 24 hours or, in fact, I know it won't.
No, tomorrow's supposed to be the hottest.
Even hotter, right? That's true. But I mean, I got to imagine, I saw some model that there were parts of the west side of the state, like Portland up to Tacoma, Olympia, that we're going to see like in 3 hours, like a 35-degree swing. So it's going to go from 100 whatever down to, what would it be, 70 or something in like 3 hours. I mean, and that's usually, I'm no weather guy, but I know it's that extreme delta that can happen that causes those thunderstorms. So maybe the west side will be getting that here this evening. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, I wouldn't mind rain, although I don't think the farmers really want it right now with the wheat.
It's too late to help the wheat. It's what's done is done at this point.
Yeah.
Even here or further east, it's cooked.
So. Well, I'm going to ask you anyway. Well, what I'm going to call well A. I don't know what you're going to call it, but I mean, that's what I would call it. But where are we at with application?
Waiting on those balance sheets.
Okay.
I pinged him on Thursday or Friday, late last week.
Brian?
Yep.
Brian?
Sorry. Yep. Sorry, Brian.
Yeah, he's been out with the flu, so.
Oh, okay. And we still have plenty of time, and those are just extra PDFs I just need to upload. I'm not worried about it yet, but by, well, let's see, next Monday's a holiday, right? So
Yeah,
as long as he can get to it sometime, say this week
yeah,
or something, if he can have it done, if he's back, at some point this week and can wrap them up, we should be good. I guess the only clarification I need or confirmation I need is to go ahead with that higher dollar amount for the well drilling. I sent an email summary after we met a week ago and said, boy, I think the numbers we have in there are actually pretty good. This is going to be somewhat, 1,000 gallons per minute or less, which is quite a bit smaller than
right,
4 and 6. And
right.
so I think we're okay with those costs, which again, on the surface seemed a little low, but at the same time, I don't want to be the low bidder. I don't want to be the one drilling it for you. So I know Mike is out and I'm not sure Brian will have any input on it. But I suggested we bump it up. I think it was about 10 or 15% from where I had it.
Yeah,
Do you want me to go ahead and do that officially?
I would.
Okay.
I would. Yeah. So you need balance sheets from or budget sheets from Brian?
It was, let me get the right terminology here. It was, oh no, he provided the balance sheets. It's the debt liability and accounts payable, both through, May or June or whatever of this year. I guess May is the last completed month. And then like the 2021 water budget, just something that shows sort of what you've been planning for specifically this past year. So those
Okay.
three things. I shot him a message. It was Thursday afternoon, just asking where he was with it. But again, we have until the end of next week to get this submitted. So, and he didn't sound like it was going to be that big of a deal. He just needed to,
Okay.
sit down and do it.
I'll bring it up to him. He's back today.
Okay.
I'll when we're done here, I'll bring it up to him and see where he's at on that. And that's the same thing in regards, those three are the same, whether it's the well or the tower,
Yep,
right?
it's going to be the same. I'm going to upload the exact same documents to each of the applications. Yep, that's correct.
Okay.
And then I've got the drilling costs here. I'm proposing, after I looked at it again, that we essentially, the construction cost plus contingency was at 790 before, and what we looked at the other day, proposing to bump that up to 1.05 million. So I guess that's a 20%, 22% increase, something like that.
Yeah, I'd rather be high. What's the what size of the hole?
The hole will probably be, what did we come up with? I think the hole can be 16 if we can get away with 10 or 12 for the casing, or 12 for the casing and 8 to 10 for the column pipe. Because only 1,000 gallons per minute is all we're really looking for there.
What I may do is, if you want, is District 14 just bid out a well. I'm not sure if it was a 12-inch or like 14 or whatever. I'm not sure, but I'll get that bidding document and prices,
Okay.
and I can forward that over to you
Okay.
if you want to look at it.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great. Do you know who won the bid? Yellow Jacket, Schneider, Holt,
No,
Tacoma
none of those.
Drilling.
I can't remember.
Okay.
They're going to be starting here shortly, maybe Mobin this week. They're
Okay.
finishing up a job. This was the third round of bidding. The
Oh,
first round they only got one bid from Holt, and it was like $1 million. I mean, it was really expensive, and so they rejected the bid, went out another time and only got the same bidder back. And it was a little bit more. And then, so they went out a third time and then they got 5 or 6 bidders on that one. It was weird.
Wow.
So they must have been freed up. And
Yeah, or they really gave the full court press in terms of reaching out to those other outfits.
yeah, so but if I can get those bids, I can send them over to you, and so you can see, because it sounds like the well we're proposing might be one that would be similar to what they're doing.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Now, obviously, we don't have all the details ironed out yet, having not gone through the pre-design. But I mean, 1,000 gallon per minute well, we'd be in that ballpark for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, please do send that over if you can get your hands on it. But otherwise, I will plan on bumping up those costs, as I threw it in an email on June 18th, so 10 days ago.
You know, if I remember right, their bid came in to drill it at 400,000 to 500,000.
Yeah. And again, that's all we're looking for here. Is we're not equipping it as part of this cost. It's just the drilling, and then if the yield is where you want it and everything else falls into place, then equipping the well, the site improvements, the well house, the whatever else, that would be part of, I guess, a separate loan application or
right,
outside funding or what have you. But yeah, I went back and looked. So well 4, which is 1,800 gallons per minute. The original bid there was just under 700,000. And with change orders and whatnot, you were at 812, including tax.
right.
Well 6, the original bid was 737,000. But then, if you recall, there was a major change order for the borehole stabilization.
Right.
So that ended up being just shy of 1.3 million. Not that unknowns and whatnot can't happen, but at the same time, I'm going to knock on wood. That was more the exception, and I don't think it's fair to plan for $500,000 of contingency. But
right.
But being somewhere in the middle is probably where we need to be. Steel prices are all over the place right now, and we'd be kidding ourselves if we thought that they would stabilize, over the next year or so, or however long it takes to potentially be at the bidding phase of that well. You said well 8? I thought we were at well 7.
Is it well 7? Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I need to find. I'll find out what District 14 is calling their well.
Okay.
Since we control them all, I really don't want to have 2 the same number.
Understood. And that's fine.
I'll find that out.
I think for the application, we'll still call it well 7, just because it's already that far along. But it's the well going on Teal Road. That's whatever you want to end up calling it is totally fine.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, Ryan, what about, I thought we gave you a go-ahead or something in regards to the design of the relocation of the chlorine over at well 3.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we at on that?
So we've got it drafted. We're close to being able to send you a contract for that. We can go. To be honest, what we're trying to figure out, and maybe not step on your toes on, is the chlorine shortage that's happening right now. And
it's not that I want to change right now.
I understand. I totally understood. And obviously it takes us time to put the plans together and get it spec'd and everything. But at the same time, it's like, do we send this right now while you're going through, well, that industry is going through the biggest shortage they ever have.
Well, yeah, and that's not nationwide though. That's just the Northwest, but
Right, but it definitely impacts you. Have you seen any slowdown or disruption with your service?
well, the only one that we use it for is well 4.
Right,
And well 4 is third online. So
okay,
so we're not right now, no.
good,
No.
okay. Well, I'll move it back to the top of my, we've got it there. We had talked about it, shoot, what, a year ago, maybe 18 months
Yeah,
ago.
yeah. So
Talked about it.
did we get a contract for you yet? Have we got the contract? I can't remember.
I don't think I'm holding on to a scope right now. I've got it written on our end, but it needs to be signed. It needs to go through your process, get signed, then we can do, propose whatever needs to be done.
Okay, so what we need to do is prioritize getting that contract so that we can turn you loose. And
Yep. And that's all fine. We're, like I said, we've got it all but drafted here. So I'll check on how quick we can get that through our process. But yeah, over the next week or so, that'll be in your inbox. And then, boy, I don't know. I know we talked about it, like I said, 12, 18 months ago,
yeah,
something
it's been a
like
while,
that.
but I mean, it hasn't been the priority, but I'd like to get that process moving while I'm here.
Okay.
And then the other thing we need to at some point we'll want to look at is if we get rid of that old little chlorine room, is that something that can be used to facilitate transfer switch and that type of stuff, if that part of the building could be used for that, to get a generator in and have that ability as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now that's the real concern now is well number 3. If we got a problem with it, we got to hopefully be able to turn on the interties and turn the wall on.
Yeah.
We'll never keep up.
Right.
And that never. I mean, that affects not only us, but it affects 14 because their well can't supply their demand, and then 12 has no well, and then ultimately 9. So getting a generator on that would be critical. Not as critical once we get well 6, but it would be critical.
Right. And that's not something you want us to lump into the chlorination, right? Just do chlorination first.
Not now. Let's just get the chlorination thing done.
Good. You got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Trying to look back through my notes here from when we talked about this. Like I said, a year, probably 2019, actually. Try and see if there's anything we can work out, talk through while we're on the phone here.
Just as a matter of interest for you, well, number 4, the Liberty Christian School Church.
Yep.
They have a tree there.
Okay.
It's starting to interfere with our signal.
Oh no.
So we're gonna. I think we bought some clamps already, and we're going to extend. We're going to put an extension on that and raise the antenna receiver up.
Okay.
Otherwise, we may have to try to talk to them and say, "Can we take the tree back a little bit?" Doggone trees.
Yeah, they won't let you trim it back.
Oh, they probably would.
Okay.
But I'd rather raise the antenna 10 feet
Okay.
and deal with it later.
Got it. Okay, so looking at what we talked about, again, this is just my notes from probably this time last year or maybe even older. But probably go with like a 750 gallon sodium hypo tank at well 3.
Yeah.
We'll have you're going to need a detached structure to house that tank because it's got to be enclosed somehow.
Yeah, I want it enclosed.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be, but I think it's best.
You're going to want it enclosed.
Get the
Exactly.
UV out of this picture and that will be, you know, it can be tied into the existing vault, and then we can drill through and run our tubing and conduits and electrical up through the wall and up to the floor. So
Yep.
I don't see that being an issue there.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, we'll have to figure out the best spot for a metering pump and run power to that. And you're going to need like an HVAC unit or something to make sure that stuff doesn't freeze.
Right. Those have to be AC and heat.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
So just so you know, we are now not using the dilution tank.
Okay.
We
Okay.
are pumping direct 12.5% in.
Okay.
And we were just, it was not working.
Okay.
With that dilution tank. So we've bypassed that, and we're now not having any problems.
Okay.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't have that in the future, but right now it isn't working for us.
Okay. So we'll
I think
design it.
Yeah.
We'll design it for dilution at 3 also, but
Right.
you very well may just bypass it and do what you're doing at 4.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll make note of that. Okay. And then we were going to use so we've got to figure out what the subgrade prep needs to look like, how thick the concrete slab needs to look like. And then we're going to use a pre-manufactured concrete building from, there's a couple different vendors out there. That way it doesn't have to be any custom build. It'll save you money.
Yeah.
And we don't, especially even if construction cost, it doesn't save you money, then you don't have to pay us to design a building for you, and
Right.
then you're going to come out ahead on the design fees. I know
Yeah.
that means we don't get some of the work, but we don't need it right now either. So,
Right.
that's how we'll handle that. And then just a little bit of, adding controls to the metering pump and whatnot. That's
Yeah,
what I've got here.
And then making sure that it can be controlled through the telemetry.
Absolutely. Yep. It absolutely will. Yeah. The unknown, we haven't reached out to health, but is making sure they don't require like a full-blown pilot study or anything. They usually don't, but if you get them on the wrong day, they may try to make you do that. So in any case, we're assuming that doesn't need to be done, and that there's no full-blown project report or anything. So
Yeah, well, yeah. And if they want to require it, then just won't do it.
yeah, I mean, you can always fall back on that. Exactly. So
I mean, that's the ridiculousness of this stuff.
I don't disagree. So yeah, that all sounds good. Yeah, I've got the proposed tank there because it can be the same tank that you have it. It can be the exact same tank that you have it for, right? That's what you want. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Yep. All right. It sounds like my notes from a year ago are still valid. We'll need to. The only thing I guess that we'll have to just be smart about is making sure whatever we do to locate this building, it's not in the way of any generator or anything in the future.
Where I want it, it won't be.
Okay,
And that would be on the west side of the building between the antenna tower and the vault.
okay. Let me pull up an aerial here real quick. Okay, here we go. So you want it on the, you want the tank in its little shed building. You want it to be on the west side between the antenna tower and the vault?
Yep.
Okay, and then the generator would go on the southeast side?
Yeah, I don't, and whether or not we have the room is the big question, but I think if we, yeah, but at least we would have a spare room as well to hold equipment if we needed it. When we remove the old chlorine stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. Is that your antenna tower or is that?
Yeah,
Cell
that's the
tower.
antenna, that's the antenna tower for the controls.
Okay. Yeah, no, that seems straightforward. So, okay, I'll, when we get off the phone here in half an hour, I'll button up my side of the scope, but I mean, it's written, it's ready to go. Like I
Okay.
said, I felt hesitant to send it given the current North Star issues, but
No, I mean, I'm really, I mean, they'll get that figured out and they've already had trucks going down to California and picking up stuff.
Okay.
Transporting it up, so.
Okay.
They'll keep us supplied and they'll, it might be reduced supply, but they'll keep us supplied. We won't run out.
Yeah. And again, thus far, you haven't had any issues at 4
No,
supply. Okay.
but then again, it's on the low priority right now for usage, but
Yeah.
but
Okay.
it's just a lot cleaner operation with that chlorine. So
Yep. Understood. All right. I'll just keep buttoning up this scope here as we talk.
okay, yeah, that would be great. I'd like to get that going before I'm gone. So
Which is when?
August 31.
Okay. Good deal.
And
What's
I'm gonna be, they were supposed to get back with me, so I'm gonna have to get back with REA. So I can show them the site, the well site, and make sure everybody's on the same page.
okay? So what's the plan on September 1 then?
Relax.
Take a deep breath.
Yeah, we'll go to Texas mid-September with our son and his wife, and for 9 days,
Mm-hmm.
and just to see some sights down there, and other than that, do camping a few times, and then go to South Carolina for Christmas with our daughter. So
Very cool. Good for you.
now, in regards to the water tower one, that we're just doing a siding, correct?
Sighting and sighting, 30% design, which is really where the sighting comes into play.
Right.
And then as much as we can of the permitting, geotech, cultural, any of those other sort of ancillary things, getting that all figured out such that, then if all of that falls into place, then you can finish the design
Right.
and get into construction.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really just to get that process started, get it jump started. But no, it is a pre-construction loan. So no earthwork can happen or anything like that. And so because of that, we figured no sense in lumping the entire design into the whole thing. Let's make sure this is all viable. At that point, we'll know what we can get out of well 7 or 8, whatever well, the
Right.
Teal Road well, and then the design of the tank can get complete. You can try and secure funding for the final design there, the construction there. At the same time, you go after a construction loan for the Teal Road well.
And water system plan.
Waiting on health.
Okay, so it's submitted now for their review.
Oh, yeah. We are, I'll call that up here. They've had it since April, I believe.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't like to be in the critical path.
We're 2 months in then.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the transmittal here. Okay, they received it on April 22nd.
Oh,
So July 22nd. So
2
we're
months.
less than a month out because they get 90 days for water system plans.
Yeah.
So we're less than a month out from receiving their plans. So pending any comments from this water use efficiency meeting, we may or may not have changes to that chapter. We'll have any changes that health requests of you. We can make those. And then the next 2 steps would be, let me make sure I get this right. We would,
council adopt.
yeah, well, we have to have a 2-week public review period of the water system plan itself once we update it per health's comments. And then we would do the same thing we did for this public forum, post the whole water system plan, public notice, post it on the website, hold another meeting like this, and then consider any comments that are received, update as necessary. And then at that point, we can get council to adopt your water use efficiency goals, but not the plan.
Right.
We need to wait. We then need to resubmit to health, make sure they're okay with all of the changes. And then they essentially give you a soft approval and we'll say, okay, it's all ready, but we need your council to approve and adopt the plan first. And we would have them council do that and then exchange messages with health, and then they would send the approval letter.
Okay.
So the clock is well underway there, but there's those steps that just seem to take more time than they should, but they're very, very important. So hopefully late July, we have their comments. Usually what I try to do is get a plan in place within the first week of receiving the comments, just in terms of how involved it's going to be. And do I need more information from you or Mike or Brian or whoever, or do we have everything we need? And then I don't like to wait. I mean, we technically have 90 days to review and respond, but if it's just minor stuff, be it typos or wordsmithing or clarifications, I like to, within that first week or 2 of receiving the comments, just jump in and do it, and get the thing resubmitted, because my 2 cents is at that point, we have health's attention, because they generally are looking at these plans immediately before they send your review comment letter. And so if we can be relatively quick in responding to them, it'll still be fresh in their mind. And I don't mean that as a negative or anything. I'm the same way, right? You know, if I'm in the middle of a project, I don't need to pivot and remember everything, you know, that we were working on 3 months ago. It's all at the front of my brain. So if we can be quick, get it back to them. Yes, they technically have another 90 days to review, but if we can be pretty prompt, oftentimes they are very quick in saying, yep, hey, looks good, go ahead and have council adopt.
Okay.
So that's the hope, fingers crossed. Probably won't be done by August 31 with full-blown approval, but I think if we can have it resubmitted to health by that point, we should be absolutely on the right track.
Okay. My video went off.
That's fine.
Probably people appreciate that. So I don't know what happened, but
No worries.
you can hear me. So, okay. Well, good. We're getting close on that then. And so I'll try to get this, Lisa, if you can hear me, we'll try to get this summary of water use efficiency on an agenda.
Which meeting would you like it to be on?
That's what I'm gonna look here. Sorry if we're bothering you, Lisa, with all that talking.
No problem at all.
Well, do you want to go for the second meeting in July, which would be the 27th? Brian?
July 27th. That would be okay. So that would be council approval of the water use efficiency goals.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Do you need me to, well, let me check one more thing. Would you want me to present at that or just be available for comments, or what's your thinking?
You know, I'd say present.
Okay, just a brief description and
Just a brief
whatnot.
description. We're talking, well, I mean, something that we could put in the packet ahead of time,
Yep.
then that would be great. And then you could just say a few words and
Sorry about
And
that.
then-
Yep.
and then they could have any questions, and at that point, we're good. They can adopt and. So,
Yeah.
so does this need to be in the, should we put this in as a formal resolution, or a motion is just fine? Because the motion.
It has to be a resolution.
Okay,
Yep, so we need council action, formal action. So we should have, how does that work? Do you draft it ahead of time?
a resolution?
Yeah,
Yeah, we would have a resolution drafted ahead of time. That
okay,
they would authorize the mayor to execute.
okay. So yeah, and you're all meeting in person and everything, right? Or is it still virtual?
Virtual right now.
Okay, will it still be virtual in a month?
Unknown.
Okay, so I'll need to be down there. I'm fine doing that, just trying to coordinate timing and everything.
It's very likely that it will still be virtual.
Oh, okay. Yeah, even easier. It's not a big deal if I need to drive down there, but that's even easier. Yeah, so and they're meeting, that's still in the evening, even though it's virtual, right?
7 p.m.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's fine. And then when do we need to have the resolution drafted or anything in the packet? A week or two ahead?
The 22nd of July.
No problem.
And I can send you a draft outline resolution if you would like.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be great. Paul and I can get that going, make sure it all matches whatever the Department of Health requires. That sounds good.
All right.
And yeah, Paul, I mean, are you thinking PowerPoint or anything, or just
I really don't, I mean, you can, but it would be short because all we got is the two goals, so to speak.
Yep.
So I don't really think there needs to be so much to share. I think basically what you shared at the beginning here is probably pretty much what you need to share. I mean, we've been meeting the goals. We've got good water use efficiency. So I really don't think there's a whole lot to share.
Yeah, no, and I'm perfectly comfortable with that. I just wanted to make sure if you were expecting a PowerPoint or something that we had time to put it together. But you guys are in good shape. I think an update of what you've been up to the last few years, what we're planning, that it's well above and beyond, or well within reason of what your neighboring water systems are doing. Oh, I think we just lost Paul. But anyway, Lisa, that all sounds good. The 27th, I blocked it out.
Okay,
Okay.
I will make sure you're on the schedule and I'll get the format for the resolution sent to you.
Yeah, that'd be great. And then Paul and I can work out a couple bullets if you need them for the agenda. And
Perfect.
I'll just get on and talk for 5-minute tops. Probably 2 or 3 minutes is all I'll need, and then answering any council member questions.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So I don't know if Paul's going to try and rejoin or.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. No worries if he doesn't. I'll hang on until 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, okay, I've got it back. Okay, thank you. Bye. Okay, sorry.
No worries on my end. Lisa and I coordinated. I blocked off the 27th. I'll do a couple 2-3 minute, 5-minute tops, just verbal description of how your system's been in terms of conservation, what's being proposed, and then we'll answer any council member questions. No PowerPoint or anything necessary. Lisa just sent us the resolution template. So I'll take a stab at that, as well as if you want a couple bullets for the agenda packet, I can put those together as well. Pending any comments that come in here in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm pretty informal, as Lisa can probably attest. So my agenda, Bill, will be very short, telling them what we got to do, and we'll have a presentation for them there. So.
Okay. That sounds good. I don't think there's anything significant that would warrant a more formal presentation, given how good a shape you guys are in terms of leakage and demand per capita and recent progress. So,
yeah. So how's it been going working with Keller?
I think good. It's probably, it's just an extension of our team. It's extra people. Yeah, they're not within our company, so we don't have as much control over, the other engineers in our office in terms of schedule and deadlines and everything. But otherwise, they're technically capable. They communicate just fine. So, and I think they've been responsive in terms of us describing either exactly how we want something shown or how we know you want something shown, or lessons learned at well 4 that we want to apply to 6. So no complaints. I mean,
okay, good.
I like, don't get me wrong. I mean, I like the work, but at the same time, it's nice to not have to micromanage like our more junior engineers here to get a project done, and be able to talk to someone more on the, me and Kyle Smith be able to talk to someone like Justin, or Stillman or any of the other guys there, more on a PM level, and let them do the micromanaging to the more junior engineer.
Okay.
So no complaints.
Good. So, Ryan, I don't know if you've heard, but did they have selected my replacement?
Oh, they have. I had not heard that.
He works right now. He works for the county in the Public Works Department. He'll be relying on you guys a lot. He doesn't have a lot of utility background. He's more into the road, but he did get a master's in public administration type thing. So I think he'll be a really good asset for the city.
Okay.
He's a young guy, aggressive, and he's gonna have a learning curve in regards to the utility side. Yeah, and his name is Rob McAndrews, or I
What
should
was
say
that last name?
McAndrews,
McAndrews. Okay.
Robert.
Got it. And he starts on September 1.
He will start July 26th.
Oh, okay. So you'll overlap for a week, or
Yeah, so all
we'll find a time to either come over and so we can meet you and Paul.
Okay.
And you can be, so you guys can be familiar, and I think that would be good. So,
Yeah, no, happy to meet him, to make the transition as smooth as possible for him and, you know, you as a city as well. Happy to meet and keep things moving.
right. So,
Yeah.
you got any vacations planned?
Yeah, taking off Thursday and Friday for the 4th here, going up to Lake Coeur d'Alene for a long weekend. But I guess that's it. That's the high point. Can't complain with that.
Okay. Well, the week after, so the 12th, I think, through the weekend, we'll be at Wallowa Lake.
Okay, very cool.
I just completed last week our annual water use efficiency performance report for DOH.
Okay, what were you sitting at? Percentage of leakage wise?
This year it was 6.3.
Mm-hmm.
So a 3-year average of 4.5.
Yeah. Yep. Nothing wrong with that. And again,
No.
it just as it relates to, you know, the 5% 3-year rolling average goal, it's just that it's a goal. You know, if you start to see it continue to creep up, the task will be to really try and clamp down and figure out why. But 10% is the threshold identified by health in terms of needing to force action. So you're millions of gallons away from that.
Yeah, and this was the first year with the all the new meters. So trying to get that all situated and squared away.
That's right. Yep.
I think that had something to do with it as well. Yeah, the other thing I didn't add into that was any fire hydrant flushing and all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I never. Sometimes I add some gallonage in for that, and usage through the flow meter, fire hydrant flow meters that we check out. But I didn't do that this year.
Yeah, it's always okay to estimate those, but certainly not required.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have 3 o'clock here. Is that what you have as well?
I have 2:58 on my phone.
all right.
Oh, yeah,
I have 3 o'clock.
I do. I have 3 o'clock.
Okay. Well, then, given that there were no comments received either at this 1 hour public forum or in the 2 weeks leading up to this, my recommendation would be that we move ahead with recommending that these goals be adopted by council. Does that seem like the reasonable next step?
That seems reasonable to me. So we will be preparing a report for the council for the 27th of July. So other than that, I think we'll close the meeting and move out our other duties. So anyway,
Okay.
okay.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Lisa.
Talk to you again. Yeah.
Have a
Bye.
good
Thank you, Joe.
afternoon.